Hello everybody, how's it going today? Glowplasma231 here, back again today to present what I am dubbing early fall of 2023 manga haul. Because we all know, the season of fall is from like the fall equinox in like September 21st, all the way to like December 21st or something when the winter equinox happens, right? And I think 29, I'm gonna say, books I have this month all come from the month of September and October, because I was too lazy to film an individual manga haul for September, and so you know what, the end of October will be fine enough to do both of them at the same time, which is pretty nice. As most of you probably know if you're watching this, I released a manga haul, which I dubbed the Summer 2023 manga haul, in late September, pretty much just showing off all of the books I bought in like the past 4 months at that point, and that video was the best performing video I have ever had on my channel. So I just want to say thank you if you watched that, and even thank you if you didn't. That was such an amazing time just to see that video not really blow up, but for me it blew up. I mean, in the grand scale, it got like 1.2k views, which is more views than I've ever had on my channel, which is just insane to me as a person. I gained a bunch of subscribers, and just a massive thank you needs to go out from me to everybody at home who is watching this video of me just talking about the manga I bought, because I love this hobby and I want to share it with other people, and this is one of the ways I get to do it. But without further ado, as usual with these manga hauls, I've got a bunch of different books from various publishers. I've got a bunch of Viz stuff, Kodansha stuff, 7C stuff, and Yin Press stuff, and I'll be going through them in that order. So without further ado, I say let's just go and get started with the Viz Published titles under the Shonen Jump imprint line, because I love me some Shonen Jump, and I'm about to show you my Shonen Jump books, right? So I really think the only way to get this started is with the series that started these past few months, that being Akane Banashi. Being that I was very delayed on this, I had the chance to get Akane Banashi Volume 1 and 2. So these are the covers right here, as you see. Akane Banashi is a story all about Rakugo. Rakugo is a type of performing art in Japan in which pretty much people sit down and they tell stories. And it's pretty good. I've been reading Akane Banashi ever since it was first released in Jump. Oh, what was it? It was like April of like 2022 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So it has been a long while into making, and most of us know that Akane Banashi has done massively well there in Japan, and people just really loved it. So Viz says, hey, let's publish it in English, and well, they did. Akane Banashi is a very good series, right? I feel like if you're not a fan of the performing arts, it's still very much worth to give a shot, because it's just a very fun series at the end of the day. Learning about a new thing such as Rakugo and all of the things that get put into it, because sort of like YouTube here, it's an art of performing and talking. If you don't know how to talk correctly, you can't perform well, and that's what this story is all about. Our main character is the one here you see on the cover twice. That's Akane, and yeah, just really solid series. I don't really have too much to say about it. I really do enjoy Akane Banashi. I don't really have anything to say about the volume extras in these volumes, being that I actually haven't cracked them open myself and read them yet. I just have read them online. I'm like, oh, that series is good. Let me pick up the physicals, which probably isn't the smartest thing to do, but eventually I'll sit down, I'll read these volumes, because yeah, they're very good. It's Akane Banashi for you. The next series is our 2 volumes that have been out for a good long while. They both came out this year, or one of them may have come out last year, I'm not sure. But that is Blue Box. I, this month, finally picked up Blue Box Volume 2 and Blue Box Volume 3. In my area, I go to a Books A Million. That's my bookstore of choice, right? And I have a membership card there. And this month, they also have like a buy one, get one free sale. Or buy one, get one 50% off sale. Not free sale, because that would have been insane. But I think Target did one, Barnes & Noble did one. So a bunch of these sales were going on. And I needed a few filler books during this time. So, and Blue Box 2 and 3 were 2 that I picked up during this. Blue Box is our romance and Shonen Jump. Very much the same like Akane Banashi. It's a series that I've read in Jump since its start, and just are picking up the physical volumes as they come out, right? And yeah, it's pretty cool. I enjoy both these volumes. I cracked open 2 and read about half of it just to sort of see what that point of the story was and just to get some fun out of it, just sit down and read. So yeah, very enjoyable, but not really a whole lot to say about Blue Box. The one problem I have with these 2 volumes, though, let me go grab volume 1 off my shelf here real fast. If I can find where I put it. There it is. Alright, so this is volume 1, right? This is volume 2, and this is volume 3. You can see them all laid out there. But my one problem, man, is not even like the title, like, oh, it's blue, but then it's like, oh, I don't know, pink there, and then yellow there, and on the cover, they're all just blue. No, my problem is, those don't line up. I'm sorry to tell you, but just look at that, right? The numbers are off in the center, like, I've almost got to put them on my shelf like that to make them line up. It's just, oh, come on, Viz. Just cut your books correctly. That's not the biggest cut issue I have this month, but it's not a fun cut issue to have, right? So that's Blue Box for you. Next up is, I'll just show these 3 all at once, or no? How do I want to do this? I'll show these 3 all at once. I got Show Ha Show Volume 3, Kaiju number 8, Volume 6, and Kaiju number 8, Volume 7. The other cut issue I was talking about is with Kaiju number 8. I mean, just look at that. Come on, Viz. You can do better than that. That's 6 and 7. That's just not lined up. It needs to be like that to get lined up. Come on, Viz. I know you guys can do better than that. It's not as bad as the first cut edition of Kaiju number 8 I saw, because at my store, at least, the logo was terribly cut. I mean, it was just bad. But yeah, Kaiju number 8. As I like to call it, Kaiju number 8 is a jack of all trades, master of none series. It is very good at a lot of things. Very good at build-up, very good at things. It's got really good glossy covers, and they look pretty cool, right? Oh, that's pretty nice. But there's nothing in Kaiju number 8 that makes me sit down and be like, that was maybe the best thing I ever read. Because it's good. It's just not great. And that is my review of Kaiju number 8. Get it? Good, great, and 8? Haha. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah. It's Kaiju number 8 for you. These volumes get into, like, the end of... I'm not going to call it a war arc like My Hero had, but, like, the first big battle against number 9. Volume 5 really started that, and that carries into Volume 6, where it eventually ends with stuff happening with Ishao, who's on the cover. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And then Volume number 7, I actually haven't cracked this open yet, but it really gets into more of the end of that fight, and then a small training arc that goes on with Faron, if I'm not mistaken. Let me actually check that here real fast. Yeah, it does. So, that's what I thought. But yeah, these are decent volumes for what I remember. Like I said, I haven't cracked them open and read them myself. But yeah, Kaiju number 8, pretty cool. I hate to be the same broken record every time I talk about Show Ha Shoten, but it's a great series. Go out, read it. It's about stand-up comedy in a high school stand-up comedy, pretty much, and all of the challenges and things that go along with it. This is the next volume in the series, Volume 3. I think Volume 4 is coming out in, like, January or something, so we're gonna have to wait a little while. But it's just a great series. Go check out Show Ha Shoten. It's filled with laughs, it's filled with fun times, and hey, look, my copy even has, like, a little cut in the side of it. That's nice, but go check out Show Ha Shoten. I just can't give it enough praise. Next up, I'll go through these guys. These are all new releases. We have Chainsaw Man Volume 12, Undead Unluck Volume 13, and Mashle Magic and Muscles Volume 13. I don't really know where to start with any of these. I sort of group these all together because they are very much in the same volume number. Volume 12, 13, 13, right? I mean, Undead Unluck started 1 week before Mashle did. This is, Volume 13 of Mashle is the start of Mashle's final arc, I'm going to say. If you don't know what's going on in Mashle, pretty much, there's a magicless kid in a world of magic, and he's got to rise to the top. I'm sure we've never heard of that story before, but it just follows that. Here on the cover, this volume mainly focuses on a fight with the people on the cover here, Finn, Rain, and I don't remember the guy in the back's name, but a cool thing about this volume is that here on the side, it's not Mash on the cover for once, or on the spine. It is Rain, which I think personally is pretty cool. Solid volume of Mashle. I read again about like half of it or so just to see what was going on, and yeah, it's good. It's fine. Pretty good. I enjoy Mashle, and it has actually ended in Shonen Jump at the point that I am recording this. So, alright, it ended like 3 months ago or so at this point. It's been a little while. But it's confirmed to be 18 volumes, so we've got 5 more volumes coming out of this, so by this time next year of 2024, the final volume of Mashal should be out. Next on to Undead Unluck Volume 13. Undead Unluck is great. The anime just came out. I'd say if you want to check out a good series, check out the anime for Undead Unluck. It may take you a little while to get into it, but it's very good and very worthwhile, I tell you. As you can tell on the cover, this volume has to deal with RIP, and very good volume, if I have to say so myself. It pretty much holds the revolution. I reread Undead Unluck earlier this year, but just don't really remember much of it. But yeah, this just covers the next part of the arc. As you see, the moon, that's very important. But yeah, solid volume of Undead Unluck, don't really have too much else to say. And then Chainsaw Man. This is the first volume of Chainsaw Man, part 2. It's part 2. Very solid volume. As you see, Asa is on the cover. I know Chainsaw Man needs no introduction at this point. It's an uber popular series, so that's pretty nice to see on the bottom, on the spine. This volume is also sort of miscut. I mean, as you can see how close the Shonen Jump logo is to the top there and everything. But yeah, it's not the best cut, but it's good enough to where it's alright. Chainsaw Man. I'm going to be getting these volumes every 2 months from now on, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, we get volume 13 in a few months, and I know for all the Chainsaw Man fans out there, they have been eagerly awaiting this one. The next book I have is My Hero Academia Volume 35 and Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 9. Let's talk about My Hero first. This is just the next volume of My Hero. I really don't know what else to say. As we see, you've got a Deku, you have a Tomura Shigaraki, you have a Dabi on the spine. And yeah, this is just one of the first volumes of the final war arc of My Hero. There's just not a whole lot to say about it. I do really love the volume cover though. I love sort of like how you can flip it up and down and just like, oh, the character and they're both reaching out. It's just a really cool visual in my opinion, so yeah. Definitely very cool, and I always love just that pure white volume. They're always just so great. The art thing is Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 9. So, let me tell you a little story here about me and Jujutsu Kaisen. The good old Glowplasma, his relationship to Jujutsu Kaisen. For the longest time, I hated Jujutsu Kaisen. It was about, 2019, 2020, whenever the anime first started. I think it was like early 2020, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really 100% remember that though. But I watched the anime and I thought, that is okay. And I was like, but you know what? I don't read anything in Shonen Jump at this point. I'm still a newbie to the whole manga universe. Let me go check out the manga. And at this point, I didn't know the Shonen Jump app existed. So I read it off of a site where it was a fan translation site. And it was a very bad one. It wasn't any of like the good ones that we know of nowadays. It was just really bad fan translation. And I read it. And I hated it. I read it up to about chapter 110. Don't remember much of it. And that was it. But this year, we had the start of the Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. I sat down, rewatched the past few episodes of Season 1, then watched Season 2. And when I say I got into it, I really got into it, right? And this Volume 9 covers the last half of the hidden inventory arc from Season 2, which is the arc with Toji in it. I love Toji as a character, and decided, you know what? I want the volume of Jujutsu Kaisen where Toji appears and does some cool stuff. And I hate to break it to you, but that is this volume. If I go off screen here and grab something, this is also the volume with the famous, come on, Corbin, you can do it faster. Come on, no. Oh yeah, there it is, the Honored One panel. And the Honored One panel, I think, is just really funny and cool, so I decided to pick up the volume. I thought about picking up Volume 8, which actually has Toji on it. But I said, Volume 9 is good enough. It was also, my store didn't have Volume 8, so that was a little cool. But yeah, just pretty solid. I've really begun Jujutsu Kaisen. I have caught up fully on the manga now. And I will be probably picking up Volume 21 whenever it comes out here this next month in November. Just because, oh, hey, I really like Kashimo also, and the fight there in the, what is it called? The Tokyo number 2 colony fight that's in Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 21. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 9. And with that, that is all of these Shonen Jump books. The other Viz Published book is Faron Beyond a Journey's End Volume 9. Faron also just had its anime start, just like, if I can find it here real fast. Said if I could find it here real fast. Undead Unluck. They started both in the same season. And yeah, I think Faron is at my point of recording this right now. I think episode 8 has come out, which is partway into volume 2 of the series. But yeah, this wasn't my favorite volume of Faron, to be completely honest with you. It really starts to set up a new arc with, what's his name? I think our old guy on the front there, his name is Dingen or something like that. And of course, Faron for the Stark. It sort of starts a new arc, very focusing on Dingen. And I'm just not really a fan of where it's starting so far. It seems very interesting, but it's going to be a long wait until we can get the next volume of the series. And that's where I think this arc is really going to sort of ramp up and be a lot more interesting. Because right now it was just a bunch of politics and a very weird flashback. So while I'm not 100% a fan of this volume up here, I definitely feel like it's going to get somewhere eventually. But just not at a place that I'm 100% like, oh my gosh, that is the best thing I've ever seen right now. Yeah, that's Faron Beyond Journey's End, Volume 9. And what's that? 16 minutes in, we are finally done with all of the Shonen Jump stuff. Not Shonen Jump, the Viz Published stuff. Next, let's go into the Kodansha Published stuff, which I have sitting up here. Spoiler warning for Fire Force. If anybody does not want to be spoiled on Fire Force, I will put a timestamp right there. You see it? Oh, yeah. Whoa, look at that. That's crazy. I don't even know where I'm going to put it yet, but it's somewhere. But yeah, spoilers for Fire Force. That is Fire Force, the final volume of Fire Force, volume 34's cover, and here are 2 other books, Go Loser Ranger 5 and 6. Let's talk about Fire Force. Final volume of Fire Force. The series is over in English, finally done publishing, which is a little weird because the series ended like almost 2 years ago in Japan, and it took this long for the final volume to come out over here. Very solid volume of Fire Force, just wraps it up, and that's really all I can say. I enjoy Fire Force. While it's not the best thing out there, I don't understand all the hate it gets online, because it gets a crap ton amount of hate for some reason. But I really enjoy Fire Force, and this is the final part of it, so go check it out. And hey, you can either despair or you can hope. Pretty cool. The other series here is Go Loser Ranger, Volume 6 and 7. In the last manga haul, I was talking about how Go Loser Ranger for me had a problem where I always forgot how the series sort of read. And that all changed whenever I read Volume 6. I eventually got caught up to Volume 5 and all of that, and read Volume 6, and this was one of the best volumes of manga I have read in a very long time. I really enjoy Go Loser Ranger, and at this point can 100% say I recommend it with every fiber of my being. It was just a really good volume, containing it's a lot of stuff I can't say because of spoiler reasons, but it wraps up the White Dragon's Nest arc in a fantabulous, fantabulous, whatever I was going to say, in a amazing way, and was just pure joy to go through and read and see everything. And then I had to suffer like a month to get to Go Loser Ranger Volume 7, because I'm like, alright, where does the story go from here? And I know the K-Manga app exists, but I'm not reading the K-Manga app. I'm just not. So because of that, I finally picked up Volume 7, and I enjoyed Volume 7 a lot too. To sort of get into a minor spoiler, it starts a time loop arc titled School Days, or let me see what they're actually called. Oh, Dream of School Life, right? But it is a very good time loop arc, and I really enjoy time stories. Summertime Rendering is one that I just adore, and I've read a few other series with time loop elements in them. But the one here in Go Loser Ranger, the one showcased, was very good and very fun, and it showed it off in a very new and interesting way than how I've personally seen it. Now, there may be a movie from like the 1960s that shows it off way better and is the best thing ever, but I haven't watched that, and there may be another better manga or anime or whatever. I really enjoyed Go Loser Ranger, and at this point, I'm going to say, hey, if you have to read one thing in this manga haul, besides for Shohasho and read Go Loser Ranger, it is worth your time 110%. Go Loser Ranger is just absolutely fantabulous. So yeah, 6, 7 to Go Loser Ranger, and then Fire Force for Kodansha. That's really it. Check out Go Loser Ranger. Next up is the 7 Seas titles. And I've got a few different ones this month. Just to show off a few back volume titles, I have Colorless Volume 2 and Colorless Volume 4. Colorless is a very interesting series with a very interesting selling point around it. These volumes are very heavy, and that's because they are printed on some of the most quality paper I've ever held in my hands. The reason that it's cool is because on the inside of these volumes, not really to show a massive spoiler, but there is color elements added into the story, right? Colorless is all about a world without color, and color exists in very much refined pigment, and it shows that off in like fights. Pretty much the best way I can describe it. I owned Volume 1, and I've got a friend who I recommended the series to, and they've picked up all the volumes. So I picked up Volume 1, read it on my own, and then I picked up Volume 3, and I asked, hey man, can I borrow your Volume 2 copy? And he said, yeah, and he lent it to me. I read Volume 3, and then that was it. That was it. And so this month I finally got around to picking up both Colorless Volume 2 and Volume 4. This is really nice premium volumes. I have not read Volume 4. I honestly don't remember what happened in 2 or 3. It's sort of that same Go-Go Loser Ranger problem where it's like, I know it's good, but just why was it good? I don't really remember. And yeah, that's really all there is to go off there. Colorless is pretty cool and definitely very high quality books. The other thing from 7 Seas, besides for what I'm about to show you, is another thing, but I messed up my wording there. This is Summer Ghost, or the complete manga collection of Summertime Ghost, or Summer Ghost. I want to call it Summertime Ghost, but it's actually Summer Ghost. This is a single volume, complete release about teenagers, and teenagers finding the meaning of life in their own ways. This was a very sad one. It made me cry, and it was very good. I don't really know how to talk about it without sort of getting into more of a spoiler. I guess the best thing is just to read the back blurb. So, according to urban legend, there's an abandoned airfield on the edge of town where a spirit known as the Summer Ghost can be summoned. Some kids summon it. And from there, they learn about some stuff. And yeah, after discovering each other on the internet, 3 teenagers from different high schools who share a special connection to death meet up and summon a mysterious specter. Thus begins a story that will bridge the boundary between life and death. And a midsummer night none of them will ever forget. This was a very good story. 3 very fleshed out characters, and yeah, it made me cry. And whenever a series makes me cry, I think it's pretty good. Hey, that's why I like Summertime Rendering. I don't know why, but that final episode, oh boy, I teared up during that thing. Yeah. This was very good. I still have a lot to say about it because I don't want to get into spoiler territory with it, but definitely I would recommend Summertime Ghost. It's just a single volume, and for being what? Yeah, $21. Yeah, this is definitely worth it. It was definitely a fun read. The other 7 Seas is The Valiant Must Fall Volume 2. I picked up The Valiant Must Fall Volume 1, and I picked up Volume 2. Have I read Volume 2? No. I remember this guy's name is Hariyasu, and I don't remember what the main female lead's name is. That's literally it about The Valiant Must Fall. It's a nice book. I love just a red cover, especially the shade of red, and then just the 2 like samurai characters like holding their swords. It looks really cool. But I just don't have too much to say about it. I just haven't sit down and read it yet. But yeah, it also has these weird slipcover things, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, I just don't have much to say about it. That's really all there is there. Yeah, I had some cool 7 Seas stuff. Next, let's get on to Yen Press. But before we do Yen Press, I have to bring up something important. I bought a book from Yen Press, but through their, light novel line? It's the Yen On thing. Yeah, I picked up Liar Liar Volume 1. I watched the anime of Liar Liar. I very much enjoyed it. When I saw, oh, there's a Volume 1 that exists out there, let me pick it up. And yeah, look at that. It's a book. Have I read the book yet? No. Do I plan to at some point? Yes. I will at some point. I just haven't read it yet. And it looks a lot more hornier than I would expect it to. Speaking of hornier, look what else I picked up from Yen Press this month. Chain Soldier, Volumes 1 and Volume 2. If we're talking about horny, this is the horniest series I've ever bought. You know why? Here in English, in America, where I live, this volume has a slipcover over it at all times, and it even has the parental advisory warning for explicit content in it. So if you know what that means, you know what that means. So yeah, this is Chain Soldier. it's I think it's called like Saw Hateno's Slave in Japan or whatever. So a lot of people were very upset about like the naming scheme of it. But yeah, I picked up this and I said, you know what, let me give it a shot. And to date right now, I've only read Volume 1. I have not read Volume 2 yet. I picked Volume 2 up here at the very end of the month, a few other books here. But yeah, I enjoyed Chain Soldier Volume 1. It was a very interesting premise, to me at least, with, oh, look at that. There's a dimension that is opened up, and human equality is no longer a thing because the females rule. That's insane. And pretty much that's a very interesting plot. And then with the whole idea of, oh, look, this random kid can turn into a monster and fight other monsters. Makes sense. But, oh, he's got to get a reward for it. And, oh, he's a horny teenager. So what is his reward? Horny teenager things. So I found that to be a very interesting premise. And, yeah. That was Chain Soldier Volume 1. And like I said, I haven't checked out Volume 2, but I'm sure it'll be somewhat of the same. Don't have a lot more to say about them, but they were interesting to say the least, and I'll probably read more and probably enjoy enough to pick it up more. Oshinoko Volume 3. I love Oshinoko. On this channel, I've done Oshinoko chapter reviews, so I do like me some Oshinoko. This is probably my actual favorite volume of Oshinoko at this point. This is one of the final volumes covered in that first arc of that first season of the anime. This holds the very interesting scene of Akane offing herself, or at least trying to. And yeah, it was just a very good read first time around. And yeah, I love Oshinoko. Pretty much like Chainsaw Man. I don't think it needs any introduction, but hey, I gave it one. It's pretty cool. So Oshinoko. And then from my last manga haul, which I titled Holy Horimiya, I have the last volumes of Horimiya. So Horimiya 13, 14, 15, 16, and then the special art book that they released of Horimiya. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot more I can say about Horimiya that I didn't say in my last manga haul, but I really enjoy Horimiya. I enjoyed everything I read of it, and it was just a really awesome series. Just a nice slice of life. It was a guilty pleasure there for a good while, and while I have read all of it, and I want to get back to it at some point, the final volume also sort of made me cry. So, yeah. That's what I call a good series, and is whenever it makes me cry. Like, what was the book I was saying earlier? Oh, yeah. They both made me cry, and I read them like 2 days apart, so that was really sad. That was like a sad 45 minutes whenever I did that. Yeah, just more Horimiya. Volume 13, Volume 14. Let's flip them over, show you what the backs look like. That's pretty cool. 15, 16, which is the final volume. I do like as they say final in the corner. Like, yeah, this is it, this is it. Not knowing that currently in Japan there is a Horimiya Volume 17 out there. I know, that's just insane. Like, how are they going to get away with that? They said it's the final one. That's just not fair. But then, yeah, the Horimiya 30th anniversary art book. And there's one thing about this book. You probably just saw it with me sort of putting it on the table and sort of, oh, look, it's got a slipcover. And slipcovers are on all Japanese manga volumes, right? And whenever a book has a slipcover, that's when I think something has happened in the world to... this book is a slipcover. That's just crazy. Like, I mean, sure, manga volumes have, like, flips in them. Like, oh, look at that, it's pretty cool. But, like, to have an actual slipcover on an English volume, it's just wild. Like, just look at that. It's all white and blank on the inside. At least Japanese slipcovers have something interesting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I said, this on the inside is... this thing is heavy. Like, when I say... like... that is heavy, and like compared to like a regular Horimiya volume. Like that gives a thud, but this, like it's a thud. Yeah, it's just a memorial art book. It's got a whole bunch of cute illustrations in it. It is also terribly hard to open. Like, that's as far as you're getting it, right? Like let's look how this pages stick up. Like, it's not like, right? Like, it's very good bound, so yeah, that's pretty cool. I feel like I've rambled on for enough though, so let's summarize everything over again, and let's wrap this whole video up, right? So again, Horimiya Memorial, Volume 100 book, or Chapter 100 book, a bunch of Horimiya volumes. We had Oshinoko, Chain Soldiers, Volume 1 and 2, The Valiant Must Fall, Summertime Ghost, The Colorless is, yeah, I guess, Fire Force, The Go-Go Loser Rangers, Fier and Beyond a Journey's End, Undead Luck, MASH, let's scoot all that pile over, Liar Liar, Volume 1, Shoha, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero, Chainsaw Man, and a blue box. When we talk about the other blue box, the other Akane Banashi, and yeah, Kaiju number 8. Very solid manga haul. I enjoyed this month, and yeah, that's really all I got for this video. I've literally run out of things to say. A lot of good volumes, and yeah, a lot of good times to be had reading them. I love manga collecting, it's a hobby, and I thank you guys for watching. If you guys are new to the channel and found a channel throughout this, I do a lot of other anime and manga related content. I often review series, such as, oh no, where did I put it? Oshinoko, yeah, look at that. I review Oshinoko on a channel, and a lot of these Shonen Jump titles that you have seen here, I do a big video on every week, or at least try to whenever I actually post videos and don't have school stuff get in the way, but yeah. I don't have so much to say. Thank you all for watching very much from the bottom of my heart. Again, thank you for watching this video, and if you watched the other manga haul video, again, thank you so very much. And yeah, I don't have too much else to say. Great manga haul month, and yeah, this will be Glowplasma231.